to talk to you about time management. I am a very busy person, and I have learned about time management. I think it's really important for you guys as college students to try and master that as you are young. And we're going to talk about the different roles that you have. We're going to talk about things that you need to think about when you're trying to make a schedule and do time management. And then I found some really cool tools, some apps that you can download on your computer or on your cell phone that can help you be better with your time. And one thing that hopefully you get more self-awareness out of this. Maybe you guys are already good at this. If you're here, I'm thinking maybe you have some concerns about how you handle your time. But just being aware that you need to plan better and prioritize, make a schedule. I'm going to talk a lot about schedules, and you don't have to adhere to it hour by hour by hour, but a lot of that stuff's going to help you. Figuring out deadlines. And another thing, I have learned this the hard way, it's taken me many years, is that it's okay to say no. I think sometimes we feel like if we say no when somebody asks us to do something, here I am presenting for this workshop, but if we say no, we might offend somebody. And I am a person that I'm busy at the college, I'm busy in the community, I have a son in college. I never could say no for a long time. And I am able to say no now. And I'm able to be comfortable with saying no. And I have actually stepped away from some of my roles that I had because I had too much on my plate. And when you have too much on your plate, you get stressed. You don't have time for people that are important to you. So I think that just helping you as a whole and giving you guys self-awareness is what I hope to do from this, okay? So I have this really cool little video, and it's called The Value of Time. And I thought it kind of went with this. It's nothing to do with time management, but just understanding how important time is, even 1 minute, 1 second, okay? So it's like almost 3 minutes, so I'm going to show you guys this video. And you have to read it. Can you all see that? There's no words. my cheesy start to our session, but I thought that video was way cool. So, I want to just...
One commodity that is most valuable on this earth is time. Time to love.
That's not my video. Okay, so, the first thing that I want to talk about, have any of you guys taken Achieving College Success? You have, okay. You have, so you're the only one who hasn't. All right, so some of this stuff is going to be familiar from Achieving College Success. And the first thing I want to talk about is your roles. You're all college students, so one role, R-O-L-E, not R-O-L-L, one role that you have is a college student. Do any of you have a job? Okay. All four of you? Wow. Do any of you have children? No children? Are any of you in a relationship? Okay, so you have a role as a significant other. You probably have parents, so you have a role as a son or a daughter, right? If you have siblings, you have a role as a sister or brother. And are you involved in extra activities at WNCC? So what are you involved in?
This and
The leadership,
the leadership.
or wait, what is it called? Leadership certificate?
Cougar leadership.
Okay, so that's another role. Anything else?
RA.
You're an RA, so that's a big role.
Ambassador.
Student ambassador. Okay, so you have lots of roles. How about you?
I'm in PTK here. I'm also an RA,
Okay,
student government.
okay.
I'm different as well.
Okay, how about you? I know you work at Target.
Math and Science Club.
Okay,
CAP.
okay,
And then the robotics team.
cool. Awesome.
The Cougar leadership and cat.
Okay, so think about all the different roles. Are there any other roles that you guys have that you can think of? Anything that I didn't mention? So I want you to write down your roles. Do you all have a piece of paper? Here, I've got some paper. Oh. And one thing, this is a hot topic among colleges. Do any of you know what the ratio is? Because I want you to think about how much time you need to spend each week in each of those roles. What is the expectation of time outside the class for every 1 hour in the classroom? 2 hours. So if you're in a 3-hour course, counting you're in the class and out of class, you should be planning at least 9 hours a week for a 3-hour course. Most of you, I would say, are probably in around 15 hours. So 15 times 1 hour, 1 is 3, so 15 times 3, 45 hours a week for studies, minimum. You have a job. So I want you to just take a couple minutes and just write down your roles and think about how much time, how many hours you work. Someone said they had a significant other, date night, some of those things. And then I want you to total up your hours. And don't forget about sleep. You have to sleep. And you should be getting 7 to 8 hours a night. That is the recommended for your age. How many of you get 7 to 8 hours a night? No, you do? Do you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Sometimes? Okay. Well, as you get older, the more you need it.
So we're just supposed to write down like our roles and how many hours we're
So
supposed to
let's
make
do
doing
student,
that? Okay.
your cab, what else did you say? Your leadership thing. You have a job, you said. I think all
Yeah.
4 of you work. So just some approximation on your hours. And then I want you to total them. I have this for you. I hope this is what you were looking for too. I kind of scribbled it down today. If you need me to add more, let me know.
It's perfect.
Okay. the campus activities board?
Mhm.
Do they have weekly meetings and then activities on top of it? Okay,
You're a busy group.
are they? Do you do the Halloween dance tonight? Is that part of CAB? Or is that something?
It's Res Hall
different?
Council.
Is it? Okay. Casino night?
Yeah, I don't know how many hours to put for CAP.
Well, we meet like an hour each week, and then we do a couple activities a month.
So what, that doesn't help me.
3 or 4 a week?
I'd put, well, if we do like 2 activities a month, it's probably 3 hours approximately, unless it's casino night, which is all day. So it's like 6 hours, plus you have a meeting every week for an hour. So if there's, in a month, that's like 10 hours a month.
So 2
Give or
and a
take.
half, 2 or 3 a
Give or
week?
take, yeah, depending.
So you're taking 10
What about
credits?
student government?
Student government, it's just an
It's just
hour a
1 hour
week.
since.
Yeah, for now.
In the student, do you want us to like put how many hours we're supposed to put like studying?
Cougar
I would
usually-
like you to have your in-class and out-of-class studying, and if it's more than the average, like his is 10 credits hours, so he's got 30 hours of school. If you know you spend more than the average, then put what you spend doing your work. And again, this is just an approximation. I'm trying to get you guys to just kind of look at your schedules and your commitments and your roles and see how you're doing juggling everything as far as time and sleep and work and school. And then we're gonna try and make it so we can schedule things a little better.
Ari is like 24 hours, right?
When you're on call, yeah.
So you're supposed to sleep like 48 hours in 1 week, right?
Yes,
Maybe
ma'am.
You're getting at least
7 a night,
That's
yes.
a lot of hours. It's like a full-time job right there. See,
Mm-hmm.
can't do that.
While you're young, you can handle it a lot of times, but as you get older, it gets harder and harder and harder. But they say if you get that recommended sleep, you're happier, you're healthier, you're more alert. It just helps you as a whole.
You get better grades.
Mhm.
Brain function.
So after you have it all written down, total it up. Did you put your work on there? Okay. You don't have a significant other?
Yeah, how are
Any
you supposed
family
to,
around
like-
here?
How many like hours you spend with your family or other people?
Well, I would, don't you make time for that?
Yeah, but I don't know how many hours in a week.
Approximate again.
You know, it's like cab where you guys have to spend all day in the casino. That's the exception of the rule. So just kind of do an average of the time you spend with family.
I don't know. Is that everything?
It just doesn't seem like, it seems like you're missing something. Because yeah, it's some time missing.
You got your robotics, math club.
Did you guys put friends on there?
Yes.
Friends.
They really take it a lot of time. They all laugh, yeah.
Did you guys eat it all this week? Like when you eat?
Oh, eating, yeah.
Eat on the run.
It's sad and true.
And what she's saying, you really are supposed to plan for your meals. You're supposed to make sure you put time in there for it when we get to talking about those things.
I mean, what can't I not? If you have a 1 hour class and it means 4 times a week, how many hours is
So
it?
that's 4 hours times 3 would be 12, just for that one class.
Thanks, so smart.
I would hope I would know how to do that since I'm a math teacher.
So I asked her, of course.
And we do have a time budget on our, on your portal. It's under the resources, and then under advising, but I put a blank time budget out there, so the students can actually set up when their classes are, when they're.
Like a monthly or a?
It's daily.
Is it daily? Okay.
No, it's week, it is a week.
Weekly, okay.
Yeah, because they put in all their classes, the amount of hours to spend on homework.
Okay.
And then we tell them the same thing, if you have activities, if you have kids, you know, all those activities that go with kids,
Mhm.
then it gets scary.
Okay, so are we done? Have we totaled them?
I think Sarah has a headache. She's like, man, I spend a lot of time doing stuff.
We're just waiting for totals. Still adding?
She's a busy girl.
The life of a college student.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you have for your hours?
Like altogether,
Yes.
169.
169, how many do you have?
We have to add sleep.
136?
Yeah, you have to add sleep.
Oh, so.
Yeah, sleep needs to be on there.
153.
153?
6 times 7. Like 146.
How many hours are in a week?
334.
What?
168.
168.
Wait, what?
How many hours in a week?
Oh.
24 times 7.
Oh, I did that.
168. And what did you have?
She's got a longer week.
Oh, wait, 153.
163. So your week is busting at the seams. And some of you guys are.
We've got one back here that goes an hour over.
Yeah, I guess.
She had 169.
Okay. So my question, first of all, what differences have you noticed from high school to college as far as your time and your planning?
You don't have someone constantly telling you when you need to go to class, when you need to do your homework and go to bed and stuff. You have to do that all in your time.
Some more personal responsibility. Okay, what else?
I had so much time, like spare time when I was in high school.
And now you have none?
I feel like I have
I
more
barely.
spare.
College?
I feel like I have more spare.
Okay.
I didn't have no time in high school. I mean, I had so much time in high school.
Mhm.
I slept like 8 hours. It's good.
We have more opportunities to use it than what we do in high school. Because in high school, yeah, we can be involved in clubs and stuff,
Mhm.
but not as much as like what college does.
Okay.
That and a job.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't work when you were in high school?
No.
Okay. How about you?
I feel like it's kind of like the same. Like I still had 2 jobs in high school, and like I still have 2 jobs now. It's just like I guess I do more stuff, and I like have more hours at work, so it's a little bit harder. And then like the whole thing with school too. It's like if you don't want to go, no one's gonna make you go. So
Good, good point. Okay, so, when we are trying to manage our time, how many of you, have some type of a schedule that's written down? One person, okay. Is it a weekly, a daily, a monthly? How do you do it?
So I have 2 schedules. One is for like my classes
Okay,
and my work, and the other one is like a calendar. And I just put like what I have to do
okay,
on it.
okay. How do you guys keep track of all your activities, the 3 of you who don't have a calendar?
I use a calendar in my phone.
In your phone, okay, good.
Yeah, I just add the events.
Okay, okay.
I just have important events, if not, it's just like all over the place.
Okay, it should be all over the place.
Yes.
Do you schedule your, do you have set times? I know you have set times where you go to classes. Do you have set times for studying? Do you have set times for your friends? Do you have set times for your other activities that you're, I know that like some of them have scheduled meetings, but do you have set times for those other things? Like this week, I'm gonna spend X number of hours doing this. I need to spend some time with my mother. So on Saturday, I'm gonna go to her house for half the day. Do you guys do anything like that? You should. You really should, okay? Do any of you guys have a WNCC student planner?
Have
One?
it.
You have it, you haven't used it,
Let's see.
okay?
We'll bring those to the next meeting.
Yes, that would be really good. This WNCC student planner is good because it has all the stuff with WNCC. It has if there's no school, everything that you need pertaining to WNCC. It's got a monthly calendar for each month. It's got it broke down by days. It's a great, great tool to use. You know, you guys are all about technology, right? You said you do some paper. You do it on your phone. You do it on your
I
phone.
do that through actually Outlook.
Outlook.
Connected with Blackboard and stuff,
Okay, so-
I get a lot of those school notifications.
But you're still doing on here, okay. So let's talk about how we make our schedule. The one thing that you should do, you know, you talked about, I have my classes on here, I have this. So I have the things that meet regularly. And then you've got another calendar for like, okay, I got a doctor's appointment this day, so I put it on there. It's good. That's very good, actually. You should have a monthly thing or a weekly where you've got your regular appointments on it. And then you add the stuff that's gonna go on it. And this sounds crazy. I'm not taking classes anymore, but when I was taking classes, the one thing they recommend is chunking. Chunking for learning, chunking for your scheduling, chunking for, even if we're recording an online class, we don't wanna make a 50-minute lecture, we wanna do like a couple 20s, you know, chunk the material for you. So when I'm talking about chunking when it comes to scheduling, it's not good, and this is what a lot of you guys do, it's not good to sit there and cram for a test. I got a math test tomorrow, so I'm gonna study for 6 hours tonight, I'm gonna stay up half the night. One thing that's really good, if I've got things, even with my grading, you know, I have 4 classes. Here's my Saturday and my Sunday, I don't have anything going on this weekend, so I'm gonna grade integrated for an hour. And then I'm gonna step away for an hour and I'm gonna go clean my house a little bit. And then I'm gonna go grade my college algebra for an hour. And then I'm gonna step away and maybe I go have lunch with Scott. And then I go and I grade. So splitting up your studying is very beneficial for you. You should have set study times. You should study in the same place. It should be a quiet place, away from the TV, away from distractions. When I was in college, right out of high school, I was in a lot of really hard, challenging classes. I was a math and biology major and a chemistry minor. I studied listening to Bach. I listened to classical music. Because when I have my normal music, I'm bebopping, I'm singing, I'm distracted. So whether you can study like that or not, you've got to figure out the best way for you to study. But you should have set study times every day. How many of you guys have set study times? Nobody. Okay. Do you schedule when you're going to study, or is it just kind of like, I got a half hour here, I'm going to sit down and do my math? Okay, so she's nodding yes. Okay. So what I would like to encourage you guys to do is try and make a schedule. Try and plan some time. So I have math Monday through Thursday, 4 days a week. So maybe I spend 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day doing my homework. I might do an hour in the afternoon, an hour in the evening. And then on Saturday and Sunday, if I need more time just to review, study for a test, an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon. You guys, do you all sleep till noon on the weekends? Do you get up out of bed? You sleep till noon? I used to be able to do that. Okay, so you can look online, you can find all kinds of calendars. They're gonna bring the planner. I think the planner's really good. In the on-course, if you've ever taken the Achieving College Success, here's a nice little monthly one, and you can find these online. You can Google them, you can fill them out online, you can print them. This is called a next actions list. This is more like a to-do list is what I like to think of it as. So I have my role, might be my job, and my goal is to work 20 hours this week. You have a goal for each thing. And then you're gonna write down your notes, and you're gonna have miscellaneous stuff that you do, but that's another way to keep track of things. This is just a tracking form for short-term and long-term goals. You should have long-term goals for your semester. Okay, so when you learn about goals, there's a couple different ways. Do you guys do anything with goals with SMART or DAPS?
Yeah, that was the very first one. Doug did it on SMART goals.
SMART goals, okay, so SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, I think some people say attainable, but it needs to be achievable, realistic goals, and timely is what SMART stands for. So for me, as a college student, if I say I want to get good grades, that's not a specific goal. I want an A in math, I want a B in this class, or I want all A's. Those are specific goals, and I should have a goal, semester goals. That's a long-term goal. And then I might have weekly goals. Okay, so this week I've got a math test. I'm gonna get a 90 or higher on my math test. I've got a biology test, so maybe your goal is a C or higher. But you've got to try and set. I think goal setting is very, very important. Do you guys set goals? Do any of you set goals? I got one.
I try.
You try? Sometimes. No goals. That might be another thing that helps you. I'm a goal freak. I am all about setting goals. I put my goals on my refrigerator. I put them on my computer desk. You should write them down. That's one thing. And then you should have them where you can see them. One recommendation is putting them on your door before you walk out your house. And then you see them every morning, or your dorm door, okay? Put them on the door. You read them every day. And then as you achieve them, you check them off. Sometimes you have to adjust your goals. Sometimes you have to adjust your schedules. Right? You may make a schedule and try and get this going. Well, it's just not working. I've got too much, I didn't plan enough for my homework. You can always adjust your schedules and your goals. So, most of you guys are not schedulers, so I would encourage you to try a schedule. If you are you a schedule person?
I am.
So if you wanted help, she could help you, I could help you, Grace. Probably any one here at WNCC would be willing to sit down and help you guys. I think you would really enjoy it. For me, I have a monthly thing, I have a weekly, I have my appointments on, I go through Outlook, the WNCC, so, my calendar's on my phone, and I'll show you what this is just the stuff that's scheduled in my day, okay? Those are my scheduled ones. Then, I'm a list freak. Every day when I come into my office, I have a to-do list of things on top of my regular classes and meetings and all that stuff. And I check everything off as I do it. And sometimes everything doesn't get done. It gets pushed to tomorrow. So one thing about when you're trying to set up these schedules, you may have to prioritize. I've got a paper due in comp next week. So that's a priority for me, and as it gets closer, it's a bigger priority. You should not be leaving things that are big projects like that until the last minute. If you have a deadline at your job, that's gotta be a priority. So putting deadlines down can help you when your assignments are due. My son he was a college baseball player, and he went to JUCO for 2 years, and then he went to University of Nebraska, Omaha. And his fall semester of his junior year, and fall semester they just had inter-squad scrimmages, but spring semester, they were gone all the time. Sometimes 2 or 3 weeks he missed classes, and his grades suffered immensely. So much that he had to take some summer classes to be eligible. And then he decided for his senior year in the spring he was going to take all online. And they can do that. So we had 5 classes online. And has anybody taken an online class? Have you taken online?
I've taken a mix.
A mix? Okay, so when you're all online, you're not in the classroom, your teacher's not reminding you of deadlines, your teacher's not reminding you of hey, you need to do this assignment, okay? So you gotta be more responsible. And so what we did, we got a UNO planner, we got every single syllabus out, printed everyone, went through the whole syllabus and wrote everything that was due by date. And then as he did them, guess what? He checked them off. He never missed a deadline on any assignment. So if you ever take online, that's one thing I would recommend you, even if it's one class, is writing everything down and being aware when it's due. Because a lot of times you get into those classes and instructors won't take anything late. There are instructors here at WNCC who do that, no late work, even in your in-class stuff. You know, if you miss a deadline, you're out of luck. So be aware of those things. So prioritize is one thing. Plan, and I already mentioned, be careful, but be flexible. Sometimes your schedule has to change. Your goals, you all have a goal, a long-term goal here, to get a degree from WNCC, probably a specific degree. You may have a long-term goal to transfer and get a bachelor's degree at a certain college, okay? Those are long-term goals. Sometimes you don't have time for your friends, as much time as they would like, or as much time for your family as they would like. So sometimes you gotta let them know what you got going on and ask them to support you. You know, this is just a temporary thing, but make people around you aware and let them know how important this is to you to attain that goal, because you need that support. Okay, do all of you guys have a good support system here? Good, that's awesome. Because there are people that don't. And so those are more obstacles for them when they're trying to get a college degree and people are trying to keep them from reaching that goal. Patience, I talked about learning to say no, that's one way. Asking for help. A lot of college students will not ask for help, whether it's with assignments, they're behind on stuff, setting up the schedule, like I talked about, asking any of us to help you. The next thing is persistence. Stick to your schedule as best you can. And again, sometimes you do have to change it. You got a meeting that comes up, okay? Last minute meeting, so you may have to juggle things around a little bit. You can't always change your schedule. And then balance. Try and maintain balance. When you reach short-term goals, reward yourself. Even if it's something, I'm a Dairy Queen freak. So my reward when I get all my to-do list done is I go have a blizzard at Dairy Queen, okay? It may just be, okay, I got all my stuff done this week, all my homework's done, I'm going out with my friends this weekend. Normally I would say no, but I'm gonna go out with my friends. That can be your reward. So learn to reward yourself. It's very important. Do you do anything like that?
I did in college.
Did you? Yeah. So that's one piece of advice I can give you. I talked about your different schedules, having the master schedule, and then a weekly, and then maybe a daily schedule. I think that's really good. Let me see if I have anything in my notes before I'm going to get on the computer again and show you guys. There's some really, really cool stuff out there, and it's a lot of the stuff I found is time management, but I also found some things that would just help you in general, which I thought I would just kind of throw in here. And these are all, most of them that I found are things that you can put on your computer, your tablet, your phone. They interact with each other, all of them. You get it set up on one and it usually goes to all the different places. And let me see. I'm a talker, sorry. You guys thought you were gonna be out here in 10 minutes. Not happening, no. I was worried about an hour. Okay. And I was just Googling and I found all this cool stuff. And you know, I'm one of those people, I'll try anything. You know, if someone says this app works really good, I'll try anything. And I also look at the ratings on them. You know, how people rate and review them. So the first one that I found that was kind of cool is called Finish. And this is what it looks like if you go to your app store. It's got this purple check mark. And sometimes, there's several of them that have the same name. And if you guys want me to, I could email you a couple of these links, but Finish is one, and it's called the Procrastinator's To-Do List. I am queen procrastinator. I'm very good at it, but I don't recommend it. I always meet my deadline, but I will push it back and push it back and push it back. And just like I said on your papers, when I was in college, research paper, I had done all my stuff up to it, but due on this day, I did 24 hours, no sleep, writing my research paper for CompTIA. Not smart, okay? So make sure you're doing those things a little at a time. But the Finish one says, it has a really cool time frame capability that automatically calculates the duration of your tasks and organizes them by priority. That's what I thought was really cool. It's the perfect app for someone who can never quite figure out how to prioritize and balance a workload. So you have work, well, you guys all have work, you said. So that was one really cool one. I actually downloaded that one and kind of played with it last night. The next one is called Focus Booster. And it just looks like this with this little play button if you search it in your app thing. And this one talks about if you lose focus, constantly checking your emails, reading all the websites, blah, 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 blah. So how do you fix it? You download this Focus Booster app. I think that's one thing that students, we get distracted. We all get distracted with our phones, even in class, all the time. Scott, my husband, was complaining yesterday. One student was on his phone all night. I said, so tell him, put the phone away or get out of class. I mean, there's people that won't put up with that. You go, when you get a job, you have a meeting, you're not going to be messing with your phone. So this kind of helps. It makes it so things basically won't work if you have that open. Evernote. And it's got this elephant head on it. Another way to get organized. And a lot of these have apps where you can share notes, like if you had a group project, for example, and you were trying to work as a group and you couldn't all meet together, you can share. And this is one of them that has the option to share notes. To do, I like this one. If you are a visual person, it says it's got color coding. It does the task by priority. It, there we go, to do, another check mark one. But it's got, you can categorize them, and this is just an example. This one even makes me laugh. Clean the driveway. I need to clean the driveway tomorrow. But I'm one of those people, I put things like that on my to-do list. I need to clean my office at home. I need to go pick up dog poop in the yard. I schedule that because it takes me about an hour. So I thought this one was really, really cool how it was set up. You guys also have the option, with, he mentioned Outlook. Yes?
Is that to do 2.3?
I think that's just, it had an update. It's this right here. It's just called To Do. Yeah. But you guys can utilize Outlook and all the stuff that comes through our portal and the Blackboard. And if you want any of us to sit down and help you, that's another great tool. It kind of, I think that's a little more geared towards your WNCC stuff, but I use the Outlook for my calendar. That's what I showed you, was through Outlook. These just have way more bells and whistles, I think, on them. A little more focused, and they were all recommended for college students. Supernote, this one I thought was awesome. You can download this app and you can use it to record things in your classes. You can make notes really quickly. This had pretty high ratings. And so that was just something you can use in your class that I threw in here.
That's Clear Sky? What did you say that was? Supernote?
Let me see here. I took some
You're going to
notes.
send a list of?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Supernote Notes Recorder and Photo is what I found when I researched it, and it was a 4.7 out of 5 on the reviews, so it had pretty good reviews. And so in class, if you're a slow note taker, I used to record my lectures and then go back and take notes when I got back to my room. Or if you miss class, hopefully someone had this and they recorded it and they might share it with you. That's another way that you can utilize these things. And the last one was any dot do. And again, this is just another organizer. These are the top ones, and that's another one with a check mark on it. And let's see here. I had a couple others that weren't on here. Oh, for your iPhone, there's one that's called iStudies. It's got the upside down exclamation, and it's STUDIEZ. And there's a free one. All of these were free. Of course, a lot of them have the upgrade, the Pro that you can get. So like the iStudies Pro, I think is $2.99 a month. And this one is pretty cool too. I don't know. Let me see if I can find this one. But this shows you some of the things. Look at this planning here. It's got what's coming up. It's got your schedule all laid out here. Again, this color codes. If you have assignments, you can put assignments into it. This allows you to, if you get it set up right, you can connect with your instructors. This one is highly, highly recommended. And it's got a planner. You can see, this is just the overview. You can see the different tabs in it. So I would recommend, if you're not using one of these, to get one of these on your phone or your computer and try and set a schedule up. You're on the way, but I gotta get you other three to where we're doing the schedule.
Is this the iStudies app?
Yeah, iStudies, and it's with a Z.
Okay.
And there's a free one.
Pay?
What's that?
Well, that one makes you pay.
The Pro does. There's an iStudies that's free.